Hi, good afternoon. It's, what day is today? It's Saturday, March 11th. My name is Ann, and this is Stitching in Hand. This is a channel about cross stitch, and just my little ramblings about this and that, mostly about cross stitch and a little bit of sewing. So welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to you. I hope that you enjoy your time with me, and if you like what you see, please subscribe, comment, like my video, ring the bell, all that stuff that we do here on YouTube. This was a week. This was quite a week. I had a very busy week at work. As I've mentioned, I work in a library, and I'm not a librarian, but I am the head of circulation in our library, and so my job is to take care of everything that goes in and comes out of our library, make sure it's in good shape and it's, all that. So we had a couple of issues this week, and they escalated into things that, it wasn't necessary. They didn't need to become such big issues, but unfortunately they kind of did. And so it's kind of exhausting by the end of the week. You just want to say, this isn't, it's just books. We shouldn't be all getting so upset over this. I won't obviously go into details, but it was a long week for that reason. And we also had to put one of our dogs down this week. His name was Charlie, and Charlie was a Shih Tzu Yorkie, so they called him a Shorkie when we bought him. I don't know. He would have been 14 years old this in just a couple of months, and his health was declining, had been declining, and in the last couple of weeks we've been back and forth to the vet, and it was not determined just because of the expense and his age, but it was thought that he probably had Cushing's disease. And, because of his age and at the advice of the vet, we decided not to treat that. There's no guarantee that it would have helped the issues that he was having anyway. So anyway, he was drinking just gallons of water, like it was crazy. And he's a small dog, and you know what happens when you drink a lot of water. And so there was a lot of accidents in the house, and we had him confined in our kitchen, which has a tile floor. But it was just, there's a point where you have to say, he doesn't want to live like this. And anyway, it was hard. It was especially hard on my husband and my daughter. And I sound like the hard-hearted one, but they took it very hard. So anyhow, we have another dog. Her name is Bella. She's a German Shepherd, so she's quite different from Charlie. And so now she's getting a lot more attention from us, because Charlie was taking up a lot of that attention as of late. So that's never easy. I've put animals down before, and I've had animals die at home. And actually the night we had decided, he collapsed, and the dog, Charlie, and he couldn't move. And my daughter was laying on the ground with him for like 2 hours, and she's crying, and we thought, well, maybe he'll go overnight. And honestly, this dog had 9 lives. I can't tell you how many near misses he had in his lifetime, or very serious, problems. But so he collapsed and couldn't walk, and couldn't really move. And so we thought, well, maybe he'll die overnight. Well, in the morning, my husband got up and went downstairs, and by the time I came down and I looked around and I said, well, where's Charlie? And he said, well, he's outside. I was like, what do you mean? Is he walking? He said, yep. Again, like life number 11 or whatever, he was back on his feet again. So I said, well, you know, are we still gonna go through with it? Because I had felt that it had been time for quite a while, and my husband was not ready, and he really needed to, I mean, he needed to be on the same page, so he agreed that it was still time. But the fact that, you know, here the dog the night before could not move, and I don't know what happened to him overnight, but suddenly he's outside walking around. I mean, he even got down the 2 stairs that go out into the backyard. He couldn't get up those stairs. He hasn't been able to climb up the stairs in quite a while. But I don't know, that dog, he was a funny little dog. He gave us a run for our money many, many times, quite literally, a run for our money. He was always running off, and anyway. Okay, sorry to take up so much time talking about that, but so that was my week. So now it's Saturday, and I have a few things to show you. Last time we talked, I was talking about what I was going to start working on, and I started and finished one of those projects. So it was this one from Bent Creek, Luck. I thought it was Lucky there for a minute, Luck. And I didn't, these are not the called for colors. I just chose from my stash, but a fairly good, you know, pretty good match. It is the called for fabric though, I believe. This little star, I had it in a much brighter color originally, you know, the first time I stitched it, and then it is brighter in the picture on the chart, but the color I had in there was just like, ooh, too bright. So I pulled it out and put that little more muted color. But I like it. I like the finish. I just did it on this flat board. Again, forgot the name, what that's called. And then I just put some felt on the back. So my little Luck by Bent Creek, just in time for St. Patrick's Day. So I have some stuff up here. You can see just a few. I have a little right there. The what is that from? Hands on Design. I think they're 12 months. I think they have a second set of 12-month designs. That's from the first set, and I keep them all in that little frame, and I switch them out. And then there's a couple of other little Irish looking things up there. The next one I started. Okay, so this is from Blackbird Designs, and it's Oh Joyous Day. I showed you this chart last time. Again, I don't think the chart really shows how beautiful this pattern is, because I've seen it stitched. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, for one, did it lovely. So I started it. Here's how far I got. Now, a couple things. I ordered this fabric. I could not get the called for fabric, and the called for fabric, at least on the website, looks fairly light. It looks not super light here, but I couldn't get it. I've heard so many people talk about this fabric, and of course, what is it called? Oh my gosh, it's the fabric that everybody loves. Oh, I should have written it down. I apologize. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, my concern, I was surprised, first of all, that it's the kind of fabric that's like stamped. The design or the modeling is kind of stamped, because on the back side, it's just solid. You know, that surprised me. I didn't realize that about this particular, hopefully the name will come to me, about this particular fabric. But my concern was whether or not it was too dark for this project, because you know, those are a lot of muted colors. I think it's okay though. I think it's okay. I've already made 2 mistakes. Like my second little motif was already off. I mean, I don't know. It's just silly sometimes how I mess things up. But this little motif is one stitch too close to this. But if I have to move, I'm gonna have to tear this out and move it over one, because it's just gonna foul up the whole, you know, the whole thing. And then I also discovered that I'm off, and this was a funny one because I had a hard time finding it. Why didn't I put it on this board? That's why I brought the board down. This is also off by a stitch, and I couldn't figure it out because I counted between here and here and here and here 100 times, and all of this matched, but up here it doesn't match. Like, it's off by one. Finally today I looked at it again this morning, and I realized I put like an extra little column of stitching in this flower, but I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to mess with it because the rest of it's fine. So this one I do think I need to fix, but anyway, that being said, there's also a sale for this one. Oh, Joyous Day sale, I think it's called. Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, she mentioned that there was a sale, so that encouraged me to get going on it. It's and it is 36 count. So I did opt to go with 36 count. What is it called? Oh, shoot. All right, I'll figure it out and I'll put it in, I'll put it on the screen. But I'm enjoying stitching on the 36 count. Absolutely have to use my magnifying mirror, no doubt about that. But I like just using the one thread, and it's turning out very nice, I think. I have all of the, that's what I was gonna, well, it's kind of a mess here. But all of the called for floss, which you've probably seen in other people's videos, but I will pull them out and try to make them look a little neater. I don't have them on a ring, I just have the skeins here. There's a lot of very similar colors in here, and I know dye lots change and stuff, so it's never going to look exactly like the original, but here we go. They're kind of a mess here, but they're pretty. I like them, and we'll see. I'm just gonna go, that one's gonna take me a while. I'm not gonna rush through it. Oh, here's something. I want to show you a little something I made. So I've shown you this project bag. So then I made this little, I don't know, what do they call it? You can just like stick your floss on there. It's kind of sticks. So it's just a little piece of felt in there on a little piece of cardstock inside, and I just stitched it up. Anyway, that was fun. So that's Oh Joyous Day, working on that. Also have started, and I just started today. I still keep thinking about the name of that fabric, the color. You all know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of it. Okay, I made another project bag. I made this one this morning. Isn't it cute? I love this fabric. It kind of reminds me of Marimekko fabric. But I got it at Joann Fabrics. So it was not Marimekko because it was not too expensive. Okay, so this one I started this morning by Jardin Privé. And I'm using 95% of the called for colors, but there's a couple I didn't have, so I switched them out. I don't think I had those 3 blues, so I think I had 2 out of 3 of them. Anyhow, this is my small start. I just started it a little while ago, actually. So I just started in the middle. If you guys ever wonder why I always have black, I serge the edges of my fabric in black thread. It's because I very rarely rethread my serger. So I just used what's there. And it's not gonna show anywhere, so what difference does it make? Speaking of sergers, so this is something I do want to show you, but I'm not sure how to insert a photo, but I'm going to try to figure that out today. So my daughter is, she's now a freshman in college, but her boyfriend is a senior in high school. So they've been together for a little over a year. And so she still is able to participate in the dances. You know, like she gets like round 2 of dances at her high school because she goes to a college here locally. So she went to, what's the first one? Like homecoming is typically, I think, the first one of the season. And then, so coming up is the turnabout dance, which for those of you who don't know, because I did post about this in another spot and somebody asked me what turnabout was. So turnabout is where the girl asks the boy to the dance, which obviously in this day and age is a little dated idea, but anyway, they still do it at her school or at her old school. So I said, well, are you gonna ask your boyfriend? Because it seems like a little strange because she doesn't go there anymore. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. They're going. And it's on St. Patrick's Day, the dance. My point is that I've made all of her dresses for all of the dances that she's attended so far. And so she had a homecoming and then prom, or turnabout last year and prom. And then I made her homecoming dress this year and I made her turnabout dress this year. So her turnabout dress, and I'm going to try to put a picture in of turnabout dress. It's really cute. And I used a pattern. If any of you sew, and if you sew knits, familiarize yourself with a company called Love Notions. They have fabulous patterns. You print them at home or you can have them printed. Super easy, really well written patterns and fun designs. So I was able to take one of those patterns, which was a shift dress, and a little bit fitted, slightly fitted, not as fitted as my daughter would like, but anyway, I made it fitted for her, and I shortened it, and I put a little ruffle along the bottom of it. It's very cute, I gotta say. And we made long sleeves, and she loves it. So my point was the serger, I learned how to gather fabric on my serger because I was like, oh, how am I going to gather this big ruffle that goes all the way around the bottom? I mean, it's, it was wide. So hopefully I can squeeze a picture of that in here and show you. So then the last dance that's coming is prom, and she's got some really grand ideas of the dress that she wants to wear this year. And I'm not so sure I am that much of a seamstress to be able to pull it off, but we'll see. I'm already looking at patterns to see how I can make her a similar dress. She's very much into these. Of course, she has a really cute little figure, but she likes these girls like these, like the tops of the dresses are like a corset, which seems to me to be like so horribly uncomfortable. And plus, I feel like you look like you're wearing your underwear, or very old-fashioned underwear. Anyway, she doesn't understand that whole concept, but I'd like to make her something fitted, but it doesn't have to be corset-like. So we'll see. We'll see what we come up with there. Anyway, that's, but she's mad at me at the moment, so I'm not sure we're going to accomplish much on that this weekend. Oh, boy. Anyway, okay, here's one that I have not put any stitches in this week, but I have plans to do that in the upcoming week. And ask me where the pattern or the chart is. I don't know. I can't figure it out. It's not in my little package here. And it was because I was looking for, I knew I was missing one color of the DMC, and that's why I had stopped, because I run out of this one color. So I don't have, I've only got about a third of this to go, I'd say. So I really want to get it finished. But then when I pulled it out to show you, I realized the chart is gone. I can't figure out what I did with it, because I'm pretty organized for the most part, but I've lost two things. That, and I lost my Apple Pen, and that is driving me crazy because those are expensive. Or Apple Pencil, I don't know what they call it. Anyway, it goes with my iPad, and I lose it about once a week. It's the only thing I lose all the time. So, sorry. Okay. Now, one thing I did do this week is I reorganized my floss. And I wanted to show you my little system for floss organization. It's nothing earth-shattering, but it works for me. So I have all my DMC floss in little Ziploc bags. And what I do is I label them by the number. So this is 700 to 749. And you know, I don't have every single one in here, but I've got a whole bunch of them. So it's just easy then to, I'm looking for 739. I know it's in this bag somewhere, and I pull them all out, and you know, some of them are on the little, you know, when we used to wind bobbins. I don't wind bobbins anymore. And some of them are just the skeins of floss. So, but I keep them all in these little bags. I don't even close them. And then I keep the bags in order in this little plastic box. And I have a pretty robust selection of DMC. I mean, it's not 100% of all of the colors, but I probably, I don't know, I'll guess I have 85% of all the colors. So I have two boxes like this with these little bags. I do keep, for, you know, all the ecru and the black, I just have that in one bag. And then when it started getting into their numbering is a little odd, but I can't quite figure it out. When they started with the 3000s, I just put all the 3000s in one bag, and then for some reason, did they go right to 3300? Because I don't seem to have anything between, you know, there's no 3100 or 3200. So then I have a bag of 3300. I don't know, maybe I'm missing more than I realized, but as I was sorting through them, that just seemed to be the most logical thing to do. 3600 and then 37. I had a lot of 3700, so I split those up into two bags, from 3700 to 3749, and then 3750 to 3799. So that is how I organize my DMC floss, and it works for me. Sometimes I see people buying these like cabinets and stuff, and it's attractive and looks good, but I keep going back to, this works. This is so easy for me. I can pull it out of my cabinet, I can spread it all out, and then I can put it all back, tuck it away. I don't need to see it all the time. So as far as my fancy floss goes, I'm not as organized with those, but I don't have as many. But I try to keep group them together in terms of their manufacturer. So, all the sampler threads are in one spot, all et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, so that's that on my floss. This is something I wanted to tell you. I subscribed this week to Stitch Me, to their fabric club, one of their fabric clubs, and I selected 36 count, because now I'm sort of liking this 36 count. I selected 36 count neutral. I selected two fabrics, so two fabrics per month. 36 count neutral and 36 count colored, I think it was called, or brights or something. So we'll see. I'll do that for a few months, and then maybe I'll scale back, maybe I'll change the size. I don't know, we'll see. We'll have to see. But I'm excited. They sent me an invoice and I paid it, and I think it's going to ship. I think they said it would ship this week. So I got an order from 123 Stitch this week, and it included the fabric whose name I cannot remember, and all of the called for colors for Oh Joyous Day, the chart that I just showed you. So I was really tempted to order a few more things, but I keep looking at all my binders that I showed you a couple episodes ago, and realize I can't reconcile that in my mind. I can't spend more on more stuff, at least right now. And I know there's a lot of beautiful new patterns from Market, that are being released now, and I have to. Oh. Okay, that would be Bella. Okay, there's some, but I'm gonna. Okay, sorry about that. That is my guard dog. Someone approached the house. So I have to say that Bella makes me feel very safe. There's no doubt about it. You know, she's big and she has a scary bark, and if you invite someone in, she's fine. You know, she's very good with people. She's not great with other dogs, I gotta say that. But boy, anybody who's on the other side of that door, until you open that door, she's gonna bark her head off. So that's okay. That's part of the reason we got her. So anyway, so I have one book to show you today, but this one is kind of exciting because as I was paging through it, I realized I stitched something that's in this book that I've shown briefly before, but I actually think somebody asked me about it in one of my videos. I'll have to go back and look, but now I have the answer of where the pattern came from. So the name of this one, it's from Better Homes and Gardens, Cross Stitch Samplers. Here's one of the samplers on the front. There's a lot of really cute little samplers in here. Just let me see. Hold on. Sorry. So I don't know. You can see that one's on a box. It's in a fancy frame there, some kind. Here's another. This one's all in blue, which is pretty. So, but as I was paging through it, I realized that this is the book that I stitched, a sampler that I made for my mom way back when, in 1989. Let's see. So they stitched theirs in 1984, so. And I have it right here to show you. So I stitched this, it's on Ada, and it's probably, I would guess it's 28 count. And it's all different flowers, and the names of the flowers up at the top, and then, you know, the letters correspond down in each square. And this hung, that was her birthday, September 3rd. This hung in my mom's dining room for many years, and then after she passed away, I took it. I took it back. So, which is fine. I don't think anybody wanted it. And if they did, they could certainly have it. But nobody was, you know, asking me for it, so I took it. I like it. I do. I like it. It always makes me think of my mom when I see it. But I'm so happy that I found where the pattern came from because I couldn't remember, and somebody asked me. So now I know it came from Better Homes and Gardens, Cross Stitch Samplers. And this was published in, wait, what's going on? They don't have the 1986. So this I bought new. Look at this, $6.95. Go figure for a book. That's pretty unusual. So, and that was new. So I didn't get this one from Abe Books or anything. This I actually bought in a store somewhere. So I don't know. You probably can find it someplace, but it may cost you more than $6.95. So there's that. What else did I want to say? Oh, last time I forgot to say that Sarah's Stitchy Spot. So Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, she had mentioned in a couple videos ago, she mentioned stitchers that she wanted to, new floss tubers that she wanted to shout out. And so she was talking about all these young floss tubers and that we should, you know, support them because they're the future, which is true. They're the future stitchers. And I had gotten a notification that she mentioned me. So I was watching this after the fact, after knowing that she had mentioned me. So I'm sitting there listening. I was like, wow, she's calling me a young stitcher. So then this, you know, she names 3 or 4 stitchers. And then she she didn't like say, okay, now for the old stitchers. She didn't do that, but she segued very nicely so that it was obvious I was not included in the in the young stitchers. It just cracked me up and made me laugh. And I told her, I thanked her for mentioning my name, and it just made me laugh. She's great. I enjoy watching her floss tubes. So, and I watched one recently again of stitching with, oh gosh, Jane and Julie, their last one. It was so funny. Those two, they're great. I just, want to invite them over, but they're up in Minnesota and I'm down here in Illinois, so it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. So that's it. I trying to think what else. I think that's about it for today. I have no plans for new, buying anything new at the moment, but that could all change. I reserve the right to change my mind because that's what I do that a lot. Anyway, I hope you folks all have a great weekend and enjoy some stitching time and stay happy and healthy. Thanks. Bye-bye.